Good morning, Daze with Jordan the Lion vlog. Well, today the vlog we've been waiting for, the Randy Rhoads vlog. I'm so excited.
This picture was discovered in an attic in Connecticut. And what's real significant about it is there's almost no pictures of this place when it was first built.
Cool.
And somebody discovered it, they knew what it was, and they made us copies and sent it. This is in 1948, construction had just been completed, and across the street where you see an apartment complex was a huge field. You could look out these windows and see Khalifa Street. No structures in the way.
Now if we look out the window, that's pretty much the view. Now there's a big apartment building right there.
Right, but that field, or the beginning of the field, is where the apartment building was.
I'm gonna ask you, do you happen to know what this building was before your mom bought it? What it was used for?
It was dirt. It was cow shit. This is the first structure developed on the property.
Okay.
And it is exactly like it was, except we added that room.
Yeah.
About 1955.
So it was built for music. It was literally built for music.
For music. So that's the only thing this building's been used for.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Wow.
And these
have been here since probably the school opened.
These have been here since the school opened, and before that, I think they might have belonged to my great auntie, who was a piano player.
Wow.
My dad played clarinet, my mom played 15 instruments, but she specialized in brass. After he left to go work for Ozzy, the guitar player George Lynch took it over.
Oh, from Dawkins.
Right.
Hell yeah.
And he taught there.
Wow.
But after my brother passed on, we decided to retire the room.
Yeah.
And it is not used to teach in, and we consulted his former students, looked at photographs, and we set it up exactly like it was the afternoon that he left to go work with Ozzy.
Fantastic.
And that would have been fall of '79.
Do you how long do you think Randy would have played with Ozzy?
I'm sure he would have recorded at least 2 more records with him, but he wasn't going to tour with him while he went to UCLA and got his degree in classical guitar studies.
He's everything that I've studied and everything I've listened to, he just strikes me as the kind of guy that would be a Rolling Stone. Every couple of years he's like, nothing against you, but now I want to do this, and because I'm interested in a million things, and I want to, and it's all be a branch off of guitar or music or in some way, but he wouldn't be able to be tied down to somebody else's project.
The roots to all the musicianship in the Rhoads family go back to classical music.
Yeah.
And he was gravitating towards that almost like it was a natural progression. He'd done the rock, he started Quiet Riot.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was going to say,
his band.
If you listen to Laughing Gas,
yeah,
there's sections that became D and Goodbye to Romance inside there, and you can tell that this was far before anybody else was doing classical and guitar soloing.
So his roots were gravitating towards classical music. I mean, even the chairs are in the exact place.
The last door on the right.
Yeah.
And Randy came and taught lessons here when he wasn't touring with Ozzy as well, didn't he?
He chose about 5 students to continue teaching. He loved teaching so much that when he came back, he had 60 students and he chose 5 or 6, and he taught them while he was here.
Which chair would Randy have normally sat in? The farthest one?
Yeah.
Right here.
And this is a recent addition. Somebody that had made a whole notebook of all of the lessons.
Yeah.
And recorded on cassette tape the lessons. He donated this to this room. That's one of Randy's lessons that he gave, of course, in Randy's writing.
Oh, fantastic. Wow, that is incredible.
This is brand new. We just got this.
That is so cool. Was there a lot of that kind of stuff left behind in the room when Randy passed away? Did he have things like that, or did he keep kind of an orderly room?
No, not a real lot. Not a real lot, because everything that he wrote out,
Yeah.
he gave to the students.
Okay.
To go home and practice.
Absolutely, that totally makes sense. Had to go back to my 15-year-old guitar lesson days.
In here belonged to him, which would have been those thingies that you tighten the strings up with.
Oh yeah, the tuning.
Yeah, when you put new strings on.
Yeah.
Probably a couple of capos and some cassette tapes and a lot of manuscript paper. That's all gone.
Basically his desk.
Right, we took it out, and in the last couple of years, a tradition has arisen where musicians and people that come here put something in here that links them to Randy to get good luck.
I'd love to. I'll look.
I'm not trying to rob you of a pick or a coin, but that's the tradition.
I guarantee I have something.
Now this is real interesting. This guy took a tour here, and then he reached in his pocket and he gave me this, and I said, "What are you giving me?" And he goes, "I had tickets to see Randy, and he died, and these are the strings that were on my guitar the day he died, and this is the pick I was using." And he wanted this to go in here.
Well, I'll tell you, I know exactly what I would like to put in there. Since I go by Jordan the Lion, and you can tell I am a fan of bracelets, I have a bracelet that I wear every day with a lion on it, and I would love to put that in there. With my picking hand, in fact.
Okay.
So
people put jewelry in here. They put.
We're gonna go ahead and put that in there.
Coin purses. One kid came.
I'm gonna go ahead and put mine in there. Yeah.
So absolutely. We're gonna put this from Jordan. This is from Jordan Lee. It's actually really beautiful. I appreciate the sacrifice.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
And you'll let me know if your luck improves.
Absolutely.
Because that's why people do that.
And you know, I hope that it helps the luck here improve. I would love to see this place a national museum dedicated to your family and Randy. In fact, when I was walking in, I was looking at the side of the building, and you have this beautiful white side of the building, and then I just kept thinking, mural of you, your mom, Randy, just all three of you, the people who've taught here, just.
That's kind of a good idea.
A trip,
that's a really good idea.
You can find so many great artists that would love that. These have been the original chairs or original chairs from the building?
They are. That's why they're so tattered, because they're like 45 years old. Original music stand. This is where he spent a great deal of his time, of his life teaching.
Yeah.
When he left to go work with Ozzy, he had 60 students. Because Randy and my sister started on acoustic guitar. And then at a certain point, my brother went to my mom and said, "I would really like to play the electric guitar." So we had a really good electric guitar teacher, and Randy took a lesson every Friday for 9 months. At the end of that time, the teacher went to my mom and said, "I can't teach your son anymore."
That's crazy.
And she goes, "Why would that be?" And he goes, "Well," "I hope you don't want your money back, but for the last month, he's been teaching me."
That's
and
crazy.
He goes, "I can't figure out what the fuck he's doing." He goes, "It's so far advanced." He goes, "It's in virtuoso territory."
Yeah, that's incredible. I watched an interview with your mom, and I saw her kind of tell that story, and she says that. I even said, "Oh, come on, there's got to be something that you can teach." No, he knows everything I know and more.
Isn't that incredible?
That's mind-blowing.
So for 9 months, he took a lesson every Friday in this room. And it's a little junky because there was a guy that was a child protege, and like later when he got older, he was kind of like semi-homeless.
I was going to say, it looks like he was squatting here at some point.
And he didn't live here, he lived in his car. But he would rent this room every Thursday night for $10, and he could stay as long as he wanted, and he would practice piano here. So some of this is his junk, but the rest of this room would have looked just like this when Randy was in here. See, we don't change anything. We just let it be.
I love that. I mean,
a lot of people do. A lot of people.
Oh my God! I mean, I thrive on that.
Because how many places can you go?
I want to see I want to look at that doorknob and think, Randy touched that door. You know, like a 15-year-old Randy, 14-year-old was touching that doorknob.
Well, now that's interesting.
Learning.
That's interesting. You should bring that up because I have a story about doorknobs.
I'd love to hear it.
There was two brothers that came out from Michigan, And they brought cell phones, and they brought 8mm cameras, and they brought 35mm cameras, and they brought all kinds of lighting. The shit was packed in their car like they were going to a film shoot. And they came out here, and they called ahead of time, and what they did was they filmed every single doorknob that Randy touched over a 3-day period.
Does not surprise me.
Different angles, different lighting, different types of film, different speed.
Yeah.
Every doorknob that Randy ever touched.
I believe it.
There was a fan that's fairly wealthy. He's kind of annoying, but he's very wealthy. And he offered us a significant amount of money to go into Randy's car and to take all the cigarette butts out. And that's why, because he thought in the future he'll be able to clone
You
Randy.
still have his car?
Yeah.
Where do you guys keep it locked away, or is it on display somewhere?
It's not on display. It's at the family home.
What kind of car did he drive?
Scirocco.
Wow.
You remember those?
Yeah. Wow. That's so cool. Yeah, your family, you've lived there. Randy lived there. Everybody lived there.
I was born there. Kathy was born there. Randy was born there. My mom lived there since 1951, and I'm going to inherit the house. The woodshedding room. This is where Randy woodshedded for 9 months.
Yeah.
And after that, everything he learned on electric guitar.
Which was borrowed, wasn't it? Didn't he play a borrowed electric guitar?
You're gonna see that.
Oh, really? You have it?
I'm gonna let you film that.
Awesome.
But we're 2 stations away from that.
Okay.
We got to work our way towards it.
I love it. I love it.
You're pretty well versed on the history.
I try, I just have a thirst for it. I love it. I mean, I know I'm kind of a nobody now, but I always think like, God, if at the end of my life, I would love for somebody to be able to put together everything about me. And that's kind of why I do this, because I do so much stuff alone that I never give anybody the opportunity to do that. So I'm like, well, now I'm going to start just putting my everyday life into this, and then at the end there will be always something that you can go back and watch or look through or goof through or see the changes in your personality through different experiences. And this is just, to me, it's like I look out here and I just think of like Randy smoking a cigarette out here, waiting for a student to show up. And this, did you guys used to park back here, or has this always just kind of been open for?
It used to be just dirt. And my mom used to teach students that were going to be in marching band by making them walk around in a circle.
Okay, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she would make them march and learn how to play music while they were marching.
Okay, because I noticed there were no dividers for parking or anything, and I would think in a space kind of this small that you would.
We don't park back here.
That's great.
We just leave it like it is. Photo opportunity here while we're walking by. For a while, the first drummer in Quiet Riot taught here, and he got a brand new set of drums, and he left some of his old drums here.
Not Frankie, or
no, Drew Forsythe.
Okay.
Those black drums are from Quiet Riot.
I have yet to see that documentary.
Oh,
I really want to.
I'm in it. My sister and I are in it.
I was hoping that. I figured
it's
you would be.
Good. By the way,
the method that I use to watch that stuff, I have like a Fire Stick, and somebody was working on it until like 2 days ago, so I haven't had a chance to see it.
It's real good. That drum head with the song list on it was contributed by a drummer named Bobby Rock. And he was the drummer in Nitro.
I've heard he's in other stuff though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in other stuff.
Or a session guy?
Yeah. And he contributed that drum head with a song list on it. The black drums are from Quiet Riot.
They sure are. Look at that.
I want to invite you.
Free concert? I would love to come.
It's in a wine room.
Oh, I would love to come. Okay. I would love to come. Absolutely.
Okay,
thank you.
I'll write down the particulars at the end.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
1 week from Saturday.
Okay.
Totally free. You just walk in.
Yeah, I'll put it on my calendar.
They have great
just like
food
this, and
it's really cheap.
Okay.
They have extraordinary pizza. It's a wine tasting room, so they have all kinds of wine, and my sister owns it.
And you guys have a Randy Rhoads wine.
And we have a Randy Rhoads wine.
That's so cool. Rudy Sarzo taught
Yeah.
as well here. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Is that how they ended up becoming bandmates, or were they
They
already?
were bandmates before.
Okay.
And when we needed a bass teacher, Randy told my mom, "Can I bring Rudy? He's really good." And so Rudy got hired. He was the bass teacher. And the original bass player in Quiet Riot, Kelle, he taught here too.
Okay, yeah, I knew
He
that.
taught here as well.
Now, how did Kevin Dubrow come into the mix of these guys?
He was trying to get a gig as a singer in a band.
He seems like such a different personality from everybody else.
He was.
Was he?
Trust me.
He seemed very, how to be respectful, like very, me, I'm here.
You
Look
pegged
at me.
it.
Yeah.
You pegged it.
Yeah. I don't want to be mean, but it's just,
Yeah.
he seemed like that kind of guy.
Well, I mean, let's just call a spade a spade.
A lead singer.
He was a dick. But he got things done. When he met Randy and Kelle, they thought it was a big deal to perform in Burbank at these kegger parties. And he goes, "You can go to Hollywood and you can make money doing this." And he got that all together. And the place that made Randy a household name in Hollywood was the Starwood.
Oh,
That
yeah.
picture
I've heard
was
of that.
taken. Now you see, this book wasn't like this. It was here. So I don't know. Somebody did it. I don't know if they're living or not.
Yeah.
But they fucked with it. Anyway, that was the world famous Starwood Club. And Randy became a household name in Hollywood performing at that club.
Look at that guitar. Look at that outfit.
Mm-hmm.
What a time.
What a time.
That's great.
And it was a great time, too. Once these people that live down the block,
Yeah.
they come to MUSONIA and they knock on the door and they go, "We live about 9 or 10 houses from you." So I'm thinking, here it comes. And they said, "I don't know if you know this, but when one of your sons plays his guitar, our dishes jump."
Really? That surprises me because of a classical guitar player is not somebody you would think of just turning it up and cranking, letting loose.
This is what they said next. "Don't tell him to stop. We love it."
Really?
Yeah.
Now, did he skip school a lot and play during the day, or was
Regular
this at night?
school
Or
didn't do it for him. He knew what he was going to do. The only thing he ever did in his life was play guitar. He never had a paper route. He never did yard work. I'm almost 65. I'm still doing the fucking yard work. And he couldn't. He got real good grades. He was smart.
Yeah.
But the regular high school with the gym class and the whole thing, that didn't settle with him. So he went to what was called a continuation school.
Was he a loner, or did he have friends?
No, he had some friends.
Did he?
He had some friends. He had some followers. I like to say they were disciples.
Really?
And they go way, way, way back. They claim they knew he was great even then. I didn't even know he was great that long ago.
Wow.
So he went to continuation school, and then he got real busy with music, and that didn't work out, so he went to adult school and got his high school diploma from adult school.
In Burbank or Hollywood?
Yes.
Or okay. Anytime people come out and say, "Oh, I have this of Randy's. I have Randy's guitar or Randy's."
Let me tell you, they do all the time, and the people that come out and say that, they never have the right article.
Really?
It's all bullshit.
And that's the same artist that did this.
That's the same artist that did that.
And that's the cover of Kelly's album.
That's the cover of my album, Pride and Profanity.
Take a look at that. KR right there. Isn't that beautiful? Wow. This looks great on the camera, but gosh, guys, if you could see this in person, it really is beautiful.
Look at the color of those.
Thick paints.
Look at the color of the curtains. He mixed up that color for me.
God, that's beautiful.
It's a custom color. Isn't that gorgeous?
He did that. And he did that.
And he did that too. Is Randy's amps from Quiet Riot. I think I might have showed you those.
No, I haven't been in this room. I
Oh.
looked through the window one day. And
I thought when you were here, I took you in here briefly.
No.
This is what his crypt looks like. That's a scale model of his crypt. When you drive in the graveyard, that's the first thing that you see.
Well, we're gonna have to go do a tour of that at some point then.
Well, we should, and I can tell you that a real good time to do that would be around the time of his birthday, which is December 6th.
I was thinking birth or death day would be a time that we would see a lot of people come out and pay homage to him as well.
And that's what you would see, too.
Look at that.
The picture on the wall, my mom is about 17. She's a soloist for symphony orchestras. She doesn't belong to any one orchestra, although later in her life she did join the Glendale Civic Orchestra and Ellie Junior Phil. But at that time, she loaned herself out to different symphony orchestras, and she was the soloist. So she would do trumpet solos. The picture behind you was taken when she was about 32. And her specialty was trumpet and cornet, and she played other instruments too. But that was she was she was a specialist. I don't know where that concert was, but everybody loves that picture. Okay, now I got to show you this picture so this story makes sense. Ooh, let's turn the air on here. Jesus. I'm sweating like Bill Cosby looking at a Sleeping Beauty video.
This is the Japanese Quiet Riot releases?
Yeah.
Which he never liked the sound of his guitar on those, is that correct? Like,
He didn't like anything about that. He was ashamed of it.
I like the music. I still think those songs are good.
Well, good, because I'm one of the only people that performs the real old Riot stuff.
Really? See, I love it. I love that stuff.
I do Killer Girls, Back to the Coast, and Trouble, and I'm going to learn Demolition Derby.
Cool. I'm surprised you didn't do the acoustic song.
Huh?
I'm surprised you didn't do the acoustic one.
D?
No.
Laughing Gas.
No. The ballad on the Randy Rhoads ears. Oh, what's it?
Is it called?
Starts with an A.
It's not called.
Afterglow.
Afterglow.
Yeah. Afterglow. That one I
I'm
love.
considered doing that.
That's a good one. I love it.
So my mom had a series of these bands, and one of the only things that they didn't agree on was that she wanted him to play guitar in these bands, and he didn't want to do it.
He would have been sitting right there.
He would have been sitting where Tony is sitting. And so the compromise was he didn't own an electric guitar at that time. So she said, if I let you take the Harmony Rocket and go in the very back and play as loud as you want to for an hour each week, will you be in my band and not give me an argument? And he said yes. He said he would do it if he could take the guitar and go and play it as loud as he wanted to for 1 hour. Of course, on down the line, he got an electric guitar. He didn't need to do that deal. And this is the guitar that was the bride.
Wow, that is beautiful.
That's the first electric guitar Randy ever played. He didn't own it.
How many years would you say, or how long did he play that before he got his own?
Probably 6 months.
Randy was such a small guy too. That had to look gigantic on him.
Let's put it this way. Do you know what a Gretsch White Falcon looks
I
like?
sure do.
Well, that's what Randy's Gibson Les Paul looked like. he looked like a normal-sized person playing White Falcon.
When I was in music school, one of my best friends had one. He was about almost 300 pounds, and it was big on him. So
That's a real nice guitar.
Oh, beautiful. He played the Brian Setzer type stuff. It was beautiful. God, that's amazing.
You want to hold it?
I would love to. I would love to touch that. Wow. I can't believe you let people touch this.
I don't, but I'm letting you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I've done this enough to know who the real cool people are.
Oh, that's Beautiful.
And you and I have a lot of shared interests.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
I once heard I think it was Joe Bonamassa say, whenever he lets somebody touch one of his guitars and they're scared to death because it's an expensive guitar, he goes, "Have you ever dropped one?" They say no. He goes, "Okay, don't make this your first." Now, when there's things left at the his grave, do you guys gather them up, keep them for any reason?
If we want them. If not,
I didn't know if the cemetery just collected them and got rid of them.
they collected them and they get rid of it. Now, that's unless they leave something that we want, and there's been some pretty nice prizes left.
What's the story behind this stuff?
Okay, these are contributions from the Japanese fan clubs, and they call up a florist or wire them, give them the specifications. These are styrofoam molds, and they put flowers all over them, and when they were delivered to the cemetery, they look just like the guitar.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were, and I was just wondering
that's
if these were maybe for
This
the
was
original.
a present
or...
to my mom by a little Japanese boy. He's not so little now, and he plays one of these kind of guitars, and he sings Crazy Train. He's been on Ellen DeGeneres. He's been on the Ozfest tour.
Seems like a cultural thing. Japanese culture, they still love metal.
They do.
I mean, and
do.
that specific '80s type of.
I can tell you this much. I toured there, and man, do they revere my brother or what? He's literally a god to a lot of Japanese people.
Oh yeah, all of his Les Pauls and.
We have them all
that stuff. Yeah, I was gonna say I would hope that would be hidden away somewhere.
It is. We have all of his amps, all of his guitars, and if you ever hear of somebody that says they have stuff that belonged to Randy, it's not true, because we have all of it.
Good.
And it's in a vault, and no one knows where the vault is, and nobody can get to it unless my sister and I both sign.
Good, because that's one of those things that I was worried about here, is that I thought, I said,
None
if
of
they
that
have
stuff-
any of that stuff here, I said,
None
I
of that
can't
stuff is-
imagine.
None of that stuff is here. If people knew it was here, they would get a big truck and they would tie a
Blow the side of the building
and
off.
help themselves. No, that's not here.
Now, you had a band with Randy, and this is where you guys performed your first show, wasn't it?
Absolutely correct.
What was the name of your band?
Violet Fox. And this room was less cluttered in those days, and all we had to contend with was the one big Steinway piano against the wall. Now, we could get about 65 chairs and whatever else there is in the school to sit on, like a bench, like that one, and we would have our little concerts.
How many people would you say roughly came in and watched you guys perform during those
Between
days?
45 and 65 people.
Wow.
And that's where it all started for us.
Was he a good showman even from the beginning?
Yeah, he was.
Some people
But
can't.
there was a big problem with us, and that's why the band didn't last long. Brothers.
Yeah. What? No. Was it ego or was it just the?
Looking back after all these years, I think it's safe to say that it was ego. We didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things.
Would you say you guys were really great friends though?
I'll tell you what's really tragic. The last 2 months of his life, we got real close.
Really?
Really close.
Did he ever have a fear of planes or anything like that? Any
Hated
kind
to
of?
fly.
So I've had a feeling.
Hated to fly. He hated it.
What do you think would have got him up there and to going on that when
I know
with
that.
everybody else not being on there?
I know, and that was a real small plane, too.
Was it her or he liked the lady or?
No, the lady that was on that plane was Rachel Youngblood, and she was Sharon's nanny when Sharon was a child. And
Oh.
she was like the seamstress for the band. She was a black woman. I believe she was about 58 years
Oh,
of age.
I misunderstood. I thought she was like Sharon's best friend.
No, she was Sharon's nanny.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And it was purely to take pictures. Randy kind of had an interest in taking photographs, and so what happened was he was talked into going up there because it was a beautiful place, and he would have had a photo op.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I need a picture of you and me
Absolutely.
sitting on